Good morning. How's it going, everybody? Welcome. Today is Thursday, December 27th, 2018. My name's Jeremy, and this is my first cup of coffee. I'm back to the Starbucks wintry candy cane chocolatey stuff, which honestly is the only sugar I've allowed myself since I've been sick this week. Because it's minimal sugar. It's pretty low. I'm at the end of my cold. I just feel really congested and it hurts. So as soon as I'm done here, give me a nice hot shower, and we won't talk anymore about that. So it's Thursday, which means episode of Martial Arts Radio drops today, and it's out. And today's episode is about joint replacements. So we did something a little bit different. Move this a little bit different than what we normally do. I found that in having the research help that I have, it allows us to explore some topics that normally we don't have time for. But we've got someone who's putting in, 8 to 12 hours on an episode, putting together a script and doing the research, and that's been great for me. It allows me to spend my time speaking, producing the episode, and doing other things related to the show rather than the research. And so this was an idea that I've had a couple people write in on, say, can we talk about joint replacements? So we did. Now, why is talking about joint replacements important? And don't worry, I'm not going to repeat the episode, but just give you some context. Because in martial arts, we have a pretty high percentage of people who end up with knee or hip replacements through their martial arts careers. And why is that? I believe it's a combination of a couple things. I think it's poor movement patterns, which I see every day in the various ways that I train people. And I think it's also just use. Are the majority of people replacing their joints? No. Are the majority of martial artists replacing their joints? No. But it's something that happens enough that we as martial artists should be talking about it, should know about it, so we can understand the consequences of our movement and know if a joint replacement will be a good thing for you. I'm committed to not having to replace joints, but if I had to, I would. So you can check out that episode here on YouTube or through your podcast feed. Or, of course, whistlekickmartialartsradio.com. I wonder how long it's going to take for us to truly get to cybernetic implants, $6 million man, robotic kind of stuff. I mean, we've got a lot of that externally. We can talk to these little voice-activated speakers and our phone. And there's a tremendous amount of knowledge there. But we haven't gone as far with augmented physical capabilities. Excuse me, sorry. Is that a nice view of the top of my head? And there are some kind of neat things. When we look at those hoverboard scooters or the electric powered skateboards, those are similar. Those are that. It's the ability to move quickly. Now, it's not permanently attached to you. I think that's an advantage. But I don't think that we're too far off from some of that stuff. We're getting more comfortable with it. This band tracks my heart rate and temperature. It gives me some other information. And quite a few people have bands like this. We're getting more used to the idea of augmenting our life, our physical experience with technology. And it has its place, and there are all kinds of cool stuff that hasn't come out yet. But how is that going to impact us as martial artists? Of course, the moment that we have, you know, let's say knee braces that assist you in hinging that joint, right? You'll be able to move faster and jump higher. That's going to be a competitive advantage. And it's going to be hard to detect, assuming that they're not huge, because we wear pants when we compete. We wear, some kind of uniform with long pants. I'm assuming those will be banned. And I think we'll start to see similar rules come in to competitive martial arts that we see with performance-enhancing drugs. That's the word I was looking for. That kind of stuff. The idea that, no, you can't take steroids and compete in the Olympics. No, you can't wear these ability-enhancing braces. There's a difference between creating some stability with neoprene around your joint. There's a whole other thing when your joint opens without your full effort. Doesn't mean I don't want to play with one. Doesn't mean I don't want to act out scenes in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon with cybernetics. And as an aside, no, I would not let them permanently bond anything to my body with the exception of my left arm, because if it went crazy, I could use my right arm, which is my dominant hand, to cut it off. I've thought this through. They're not putting anything in my head, that's for sure. We're always looking for a leg up. And fortunately, that's not a culture that tends to come into martial arts too often. And there's good and bad to that. I would love to see martial artists pushing the boundaries more and more with their physical capabilities. More and more martial artists cross-training with strength training and cardiovascular fitness. We tend to have this perception that what we do within our training is all we need. And of course, depending on how far you want to get as a martial artist, that's not true. I've trained at schools that refused to take people through strength and conditioning training because they felt, you can do that on your own. You can do push-ups on your own. I don't need to make you do push-ups. You're here to learn things. I'm going to teach you things and take you through training that you can't get at any other gym or at home with minimal knowledge. And I can see both sides of that coin. When I teach, I tend to just keep people moving. And sometimes, we'll bring in some plyometrics or some strength training, kind of stuff. But it's focused on the martial arts. You want to get better at martial arts, you should be doing primarily martial arts. But maybe 10% of your training should be non-martial arts. I know that when I step into a martial arts class, because of my conditioning through CrossFit and strength training and other things, I'm better able to learn. I'm able to perform at a higher level in that class and get more high-quality repetitions of my techniques, and thus improve or not regress better than I think a lot of my peers. And I think that's a good thing. One of my favorite sayings is that you can do a lot in a minute a day. So my challenge to you is to create a habit, 60 seconds every day, probably when you first wake up, or tie it to some other event that happens every day, and do something. I've probably talked about this on the show before. But if you're not doing that, choose something. Maybe you spend a minute of kicking, 30 seconds on each leg. and over time you increase the intensity and the speed. Or maybe you spend a minute doing some conditioning work. You spend 30 seconds doing push-ups and 30 seconds doing sit-ups. Is it a lot? No. Is it going to change your life if you do it every day? Absolutely. We tend to want to take a pill and do things one time and see results. It's not the way the body works. It's not the way the world works. It's about consistency. It's about persistence, frequency. Well, a minute a day, it's 30 minutes a month. But you're not going to miss that minute a day. Do you have the dedication to do it? Most of us don't. I'll be honest. Most of you out there probably don't. But for those of you who do, spend the next month choosing one thing. It's got to be the same thing. Don't change it up every day. Choose one thing right now. Spend a minute a day for the next month, and then reach out to me and tell me what you did and how it's changed you. I'd love to see that. All right, I'm going to go back, finish my coffee, hop in the shower, see if I can breathe a little better. I will be back here tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday. Looking forward to Friday and the weekend. I hope you have a great day. Don't forget to check out episode 357 of Martial Arts Radio. And I hope you have a great one. Take care. Peace.